She collapsed in the grocery store aisle, clutching a can of what she thought was healthy protein. Margaret, 73 years old, had been doing everything right, or so she believed. For 2 years, she'd faithfully followed her doctor's advice to eat more fish for her heart health. Every single week, she'd purchased the same affordable tilapia fillets, convinced she was investing in a longer, healthier life. What Margaret didn't know was that with every bite, she was actually accelerating the very inflammation, destroying her joints, clouding her mind, and weakening her cardiovascular system. The paramedics found elevated inflammatory markers in her blood work that day. Levels so concerning they immediately admitted her for observation. The culprit wasn't a virus or bacteria, it was hiding in plain sight on her dinner plate. If you're over 60, what I'm about to share could literally add years to your life. Or if ignored, silently steal them away. Most seniors today are making the same catastrophic mistake Margaret made, walking into grocery stores with the best intentions, reaching for fish they believe will protect their hearts and sharpen their minds, completely unaware that some of the most popular choices are actually toxic time bombs wrapped in convenient packaging. This isn't fear-mongering. This is documented science buried in medical journals. While the food industry profits from confusion, your body at 60 plus isn't the same machine it was at 30. Your kidneys process toxins more slowly now. Your liver takes longer to filter out heavy metals. Your nervous system has become more vulnerable to chemical assault. Fish that might have caused minimal harm in your youth can become genuinely dangerous now, when you need good nutrition most. It's a cruel irony that the stage of life when omega-3 fatty acids could provide the most dramatic benefits, protecting your brain from dementia, keeping your heart beating strong, maintaining your bones sturdy enough to prevent falls, is the exact same stage when choosing the wrong fish can accelerate your decline. The fundamental problem begins with how we've industrialized fish farming. In the desperate race to feed billions of people cheaply, corners get cut, standards slip, profit margins squeeze out quality. Thousands upon thousands of fish get crammed into pens so tight they can barely move, swimming perpetually through their own waste. Disease spreads like wildfire in these conditions. So massive doses of antibiotics, pesticides, and antifungal agents get dumped directly into the water. These chemicals don't magically disappear. They accumulate in the flesh of the fish, building up concentration after concentration, until you bring that contaminated fillet home and serve it to your family. Some farms, desperate to cut feed costs to rock-bottom levels, resort to truly disturbing practices. Multiple investigations have documented farms feeding tilapia and other species with waste materials, actual animal feces mixed into feed pellets. When fish consume such feed, their flesh composition fundamentally changes. The healthy omega-3 fatty acids your body desperately needs get displaced by inflammatory omega-6 fats. The result is a fish that looks healthy, cooks up nicely, taste acceptable, but delivers a payload of pro-inflammatory compounds with every bite. Chronic, low-grade inflammation is a slow-burning fire inside your tissues, your blood vessels, your joints, even your brain. This invisible inflammation connects nearly every disease of aging arthritis that makes every movement painful. Atherosclerosis that clogs your arteries and sets the stage for heart attacks. Cognitive decline that steals your memories and independence. Even cancer growth that feeds on inflammatory signals. When you consume fish with imbalanced fatty acid ratios, especially ratios skewed heavily toward omega-6 fats, You're essentially pouring gasoline on this fire. Studies have demonstrated that certain farmed fish trigger more inflammation than eating bacon or hamburgers. The omega-6 to omega-3 ratio has become one of the most critical yet overlooked factors in nutrition science. Our ancestors evolved eating diets with ratios somewhere near 1 to 1. Our modern Western diet has pushed that ratio to an astronomical 20 to 1 or worse. Every cell membrane in your body incorporates these fatty acids. And when omega-6 dominates overwhelmingly, those membranes become factories for inflammatory compounds. These molecules signal your immune system to stay in a constant state of alert, attacking tissues that should be left alone. Your joints ache more. Your arteries accumulate more plaque. Your brain function deteriorates faster. Mercury presents an entirely different category of threat, one that specifically targets your nervous system with devastating precision. Mercury is a neurotoxin with particular affinity for nerve tissue, especially brain cells. When you eat large predatory fish like certain tuna species, swordfish, or king mackerel, you're consuming mercury that these fish accumulated over their lifetimes by eating smaller fish. It's called biomagnification. Toxins concentrate as they move up the food chain. A small sardine might contain negligible mercury because it feeds on plankton. But a tuna that ate thousands of those smaller fish accumulates all that mercury in its tissues. When you eat that tuna, all that accumulated mercury transfers into your body. Mercury doesn't just pass through your system. It has a particular talent for crossing the blood-brain barrier and taking up residence in your brain tissue. Once there, it interferes with neurotransmitter function, damages myelin sheaths, protecting nerve fibers, promote oxidative stress, and triggers inflammatory cascades. The symptoms can be insidious because they mimic normal aging, increasing forgetfulness, difficulty concentrating, mood changes, tremors, balance problems. How many seniors experiencing these symptoms get dismissed with "that's just getting older" when the real cause might be mercury poisoning from eating the wrong fish twice a week for years? Recent research tracking older adults over several years found that those with higher blood mercury concentrations had up to 65% greater risk of developing measurable cognitive impairment. Eating what you thought was brain-healthy fish actually accelerated the very mental decline you were trying to prevent. Mercury molecules, once absorbed through your digestive tract, travel through your bloodstream, attracted to organs with high blood flow, your kidneys, liver, and crucially, your brain. In brain tissue, mercury disrupts the delicate balance of neurotransmitters. These are the chemical messengers that allow your neurons to communicate. When mercury interferes, thoughts become fuzzier, memories harder to retrieve, emotions more difficult to regulate. Meanwhile, mercury also generates free radicals, unstable molecules that damage cellular structures. This double assault creates a cascade of harm that compounds over time. The symptoms develop gradually. You don't eat a tuna sandwich and immediately feel confused. Instead, week after week, mercury slowly accumulates. Your body does try to eliminate it, but the process is painfully slow, measured in months or even years. If you're eating high mercury fish regularly, you're adding mercury faster than your body can remove it. The load just keeps building. By the time symptoms become obvious enough to concern you, significant damage may already exist. Some of that damage, particularly to nerve cells, might be permanent. Farm-raised tilapia represents perhaps the most catastrophic choice for seniors. This ubiquitous, inexpensive fish has become a staple in American diets. particularly among people on fixed incomes who appreciate its low price point and mild flavor. But beneath that affordable price tag lies a nutritional disaster that actively harms your health with every serving. Testing consistently shows omega-6 to omega-3 ratios in farmed tilapia approaching 10 to 1 or even higher. Every time you eat tilapia, thinking you're getting healthy fish, you're actually consuming something that promotes more inflammation than a fast food hamburger. For seniors battling arthritis, cardiovascular disease, or diabetes, eating farmed tilapia sabotages your own health goals. Your joints will ache more. Your arteries will accumulate more plaque. Your brain inflammation, a key driver of cognitive decline, will increase. Tilapia farms, particularly in regions with minimal regulatory oversight, operate under conditions that would shock most consumers. Thousands of fish packed into ponds or pens, generating massive amounts of waste that has nowhere to go. The water becomes a toxic soup of ammonia, nitrites, and bacterial pathogens. In this environment, disease outbreaks are inevitable. So farms dose the water heavily with antibiotics, fungicides, and other chemicals to keep the fish alive long enough to reach market size. These chemicals accumulate in the flesh, particularly in fatty tissues. Testing of farmed tilapia has revealed concerning levels of dioxins and polychlorinated biphenyls, both classified as probable human carcinogens. These persistent organic pollutants accumulate in fatty tissues and remain in the body for years, even decades, interfering with hormone function, suppressing immune response, and damaging cells. Perhaps most damning is what farmed tilapia lacks. Compared to truly healthy fish, tilapia contains minimal beneficial omega-3 fatty acids. It provides relatively little selenium. Its vitamin D content is low. You're essentially eating empty calories wrapped in a protein shell, gaining very little nutritional benefit while accepting substantial risks from contaminants and inflammatory fats. When you consider that every meal is an opportunity to nourish your body with compounds that protect and heal, choosing farmed tilapia represents a tragic missed opportunity. Imported catfish poses similar concerns due to farming practices in certain countries. These fish are bottom feeders by nature, consuming whatever settles in their environment. In crowded farm conditions with poor water quality, they're living in and consuming polluted water. Testing has repeatedly found residues of banned chemicals, heavy metals, and antibiotic-resistant bacteria in imported catfish samples. The antibiotics used to keep fish alive in disease-prone farm conditions become part of the fish's tissue, and ultimately, part of your body. For seniors whose immune systems may already be compromised, introducing antibiotic residues creates risks for developing antibiotic-resistant infections. Tuna presents a complicated picture because not all tuna is equally problematic. Yet the popular varieties pose serious concerns. Albacore tuna, often labeled as white tuna in cans, contains significantly higher mercury levels than skipjack. Many people, especially seniors trying to make budget-friendly choices, buy canned albacore tuna in bulk and eat it several times weekly. This practice, sustained over months and years, virtually guarantees mercury accumulation beyond safe levels. Fresh tuna steaks, particularly from larger species like bluefin or big eye, contain even higher concentrations. These magnificent fish can live for decades, growing to hundreds of pounds. By the time that tuna reaches your plate, it's carrying accumulated mercury from thousands of prey fish consumed over many years. While omega-3 fats in fish generally benefit heart health, Mercury works in the opposite direction, essentially canceling out some of those benefits. Mercury damages the endothelial lining of blood vessels, promotes oxidative stress in arterial walls, and may interfere with electrical signals regulating heart rhythm. King mackerel represents perhaps the clearest case of a fish that simply should not be on anyone's plate. This large, long-lived predatory fish accumulates mercury to such staggering levels that both the FDA and EPA explicitly listed on their "do not eat" advisories. What makes this particularly dangerous is that king mackerel often gets sold simply as mackerel without specifying the species. An uninformed consumer sees mackerel, knows that mackerel is generally healthy fish, and orders it. Completely unaware, they're about to consume one of the most mercury-contaminated species available. The neurological symptoms can manifest in ways that alarm family members while leaving doctors puzzled. Seniors might develop tremors in their hands, mood changes, balance problems, increasing fall risk, numbness or tingling in extremities, and increasingly unreliable memory. These symptoms overlap with other age-related conditions, making diagnosis challenging, while the real cause goes unrecognized. But here's where this story transforms from cautionary tale to empowering guide. Because for every harmful fish lurking in the seafood case, there are extraordinary alternatives that can genuinely transform your health. These fish wild caught, properly sourced, nutrient-dense powerhouses represent some of the most medicinal foods available. When you make the switch from inflammatory, contaminated species to these healing varieties, the changes in your body can be remarkable and sometimes surprisingly rapid. Wild-caught Pacific cod delivers approximately 40 grams of complete, highly bioavailable protein while containing barely any fat and minimal calories. For seniors fighting sarcopenia, the age-related muscle loss that affects up to half of people over 80, this protein profile is nearly perfect. Your body can efficiently convert cod protein into new muscle tissue without processing excessive fats or dealing with inflammatory compounds. But cod's secret weapon is selenium. This trace mineral plays absolutely critical roles in your body's defense systems. Selenium is a cofactor for glutathione peroxidase, one of your body's most important antioxidant enzymes. This enzyme neutralizes hydrogen peroxide and lipid peroxides before they can damage cellular membranes and DNA. A single serving of cod provides over 100% of your daily selenium requirement, effectively turbocharging your antioxidant defenses. Selenium also supports thyroid function, which tends to decline with age. Your thyroid gland uses selenium to convert thyroid hormones from their inactive to active forms. When selenium intake is insufficient, thyroid function suffers. Metabolism slows, energy plummets, and mood often darkens. Simply eating cod regularly can help maintain optimal thyroid hormone levels. Research has linked adequate selenium intake to better cognitive function in older adults, with studies showing that seniors with higher selenium levels perform better on memory tests and experience slower cognitive decline. Wild Pacific cod also provides substantial phosphorus, which works synergistically with calcium to build and maintain bone density, and vitamin B12 in highly absorbable form. These fish live relatively short lives in the cold, clean waters off Alaska, meaning mercury levels remain minimal. You can eat this fish regularly without worrying about mercury accumulation. Sardines may represent the single most underutilized superfood available to seniors. These humble little fish deliver a nutritional payload that rivals virtually any other food, all while being incredibly affordable. Shelf-stable, and easy to prepare. The omega-3 content of sardines is simply extraordinary. A typical serving provides over 2,000 milligrams of EPA and DHA, 2 to 4 times the amount most health authorities recommend as minimum daily intake. These omega-3 seconds work throughout your body like microscopic firefighters, dampening inflammatory responses, improving blood vessel flexibility, reducing blood clotting tendency, lowering triglyceride levels, and protecting brain cell membranes. Clinical studies have repeatedly demonstrated that people who eat fatty fish like sardines at least twice weekly enjoy significantly lower rates of heart disease, stroke, inflammatory arthritis, and even depression. Sardines are one of the few natural food sources of vitamin D, critically important as we age, yet increasingly difficult to obtain. Our skin's ability to manufacture vitamin D from sunlight declines with age. Vitamin D deficiency has reached epidemic proportions among older adults, undermining bone health, immune function, mood regulation, and cardiovascular health. A single can of sardines provides roughly 40% of your daily vitamin D requirement. When you eat canned sardines, you're eating the bones. Those soft, barely noticeable bones provide calcium in exactly the form your body loves, organically bound to proteins and phosphorus, precisely mirroring the structure of your own bones. This bioavailable calcium is far more efficiently absorbed than supplements. The combination of vitamin D, calcium, and phosphorus in sardines creates a triple threat for bone health, helping prevent the osteoporosis that leads to devastating fractures. Sardines also deliver impressive amounts of vitamin B12, iron, zinc, and selenium, working together to create synergistic benefits. Perhaps the most compelling argument for sardines is their safety. These tiny fish sit at the very bottom of the marine food chain, feeding exclusively on plankton. This means they accumulate virtually no mercury or other toxins that biomagnify up the food chain. You could eat sardines daily without any concern about mercury poisoning, making them one of the safest seafood choices for everyone. Wild-caught Alaskan salmon deserves its reputation as perhaps the ultimate health food, particularly for aging brains and cardiovascular systems. The science supporting salmon consumption is so robust that few foods can match its evidence base for promoting health and longevity. The DHA component makes salmon so valuable for brain health. Your brain is approximately 60% fat by dry weight, and a substantial portion should be DHA. This particular omega-3 fatty acid forms the structural backbone of brain cell membranes, making those membranes fluid enough to facilitate rapid neurotransmitter signaling while maintaining enough integrity to protect cellular contents. When DHA levels drop, brain function suffers measurably. Reaction times slow. Memory becomes less reliable. Focus wavers. Research from the University of Pittsburgh has shown that seniors with higher blood levels of DHA actually have physically larger brains on MRI scans, with more gray matter volume in regions crucial for memory and cognition. This is remarkable because the typical trajectory with aging is brain shrinkage. People who maintain high omega-3 intake through regular consumption of fish like salmon appear to resist this shrinkage, preserving cognitive function well into their 80s. Controlled trials have demonstrated that increasing omega-3 intake can actually improve cognitive test scores and slow the rate of decline in people already experiencing early memory problems. Salmon's cardiovascular benefits are equally impressive. The omega-3 seconds reduce inflammation in arterial walls, making vessels more flexible and less prone to dangerous plaque accumulation. They lower triglyceride levels dramatically. Reductions of 30 to 50% are common. They reduce blood clot tendency, lowering stroke risk, and can modestly lower blood pressure. Multiple large-scale studies have found that people who eat fatty fish like salmon at least twice weekly enjoy substantially lower rates of heart attack and cardiac death. Beyond omega-3 seconds, wild Alaskan salmon contains astaxanthin, a brilliant red carotenoid that gives the fish its characteristic color. This molecule is one of nature's most potent antioxidants, far stronger than vitamin E. Astaxanthin crosses the blood-brain barrier, protecting brain cells from oxidative damage. It accumulates in the retina, potentially helping prevent age-related macular degeneration. It even protects skin cells and may help maintain skin elasticity. Wild Alaskan salmon also provides excellent amounts of selenium, vitamin B quatinine, vitamin B6, and vitamin D supporting energy, nerves, antioxidant systems, bones, immune function, and mood. These fish swim in some of the cleanest waters on Earth, feeding on natural diets, accumulating minimal contaminants. Mercury levels in Alaskan salmon are extremely low, allowing frequent consumption without concern. Rainbow trout deserves recognition as perhaps the absolute best fish for seniors when weighing all factors together: nutrition, safety, sustainability, and accessibility. The omega-3 content hits a sweet spot around 1,000 milligrams per serving, providing substantial anti-inflammatory benefits without excessively oily texture. This dose is perfect for supporting cardiovascular health, reducing chronic inflammation, and protecting cognitive function. Clinical research has demonstrated that this level, maintained consistently, can measurably reduce inflammatory biomarkers, improve cholesterol ratios, and maintain better blood vessel flexibility into older age. Where rainbow trout truly shines is in its mineral profile, particularly potassium. This essential mineral plays a starring role in blood pressure regulation. Yet surveys show that nearly 70% of seniors have suboptimal potassium intake. This deficiency directly contributes to hypertension, which then drives heart disease, stroke, kidney damage, and cognitive decline. Potassium works by counterbalancing sodium's blood pressure-raising effects. A serving of rainbow trout provides substantial potassium, helping close this widespread nutritional gap. Trout also delivers impressive phosphorus, iron, and zinc. The iron supports healthy red blood cell production and prevents crushing fatigue. The zinc is crucial for immune function, wound healing, and maintaining taste and smell senses that often decline with age. The niacin content deserves special mention. Niacin, at adequate doses, can simultaneously raise HDL cholesterol while lowering LDL and triglycerides. This triple action helps protect against atherosclerosis. Rainbow trout provides excellent niacin, supporting this beneficial effect. Plus plenty of B12, supporting nerve health and combating mental fog. What makes trout particularly suitable for older adults is its mild flavor and tender, flaky texture. Many seniors develop more sensitive taste buds or digestive systems that struggle with very fatty or strongly flavored foods. Trout's delicate taste rarely overwhelms, and its texture makes it easy to chew and digest. This practical consideration matters enormously because the healthiest fish provides zero benefit if you won't actually eat it. The safety profile of domestically farmed rainbow trout is exemplary. Unlike many farmed fish species, trout farming in the United States operates under strict regulations. The fish are raised in clean freshwater environments, fed controlled diets, monitored for contaminants, and harvested under inspected conditions. Mercury accumulation is minimal. You can eat rainbow trout multiple times weekly without any concern about toxin exposure, making it one of the few farmed fish that rivals wild-caught species for safety. Knowledge without action changes nothing. The gap between knowing you should avoid tilapia and actually doing it, between understanding that sardines are superfood and actually eating them, is where most good intentions die. Start with one simple substitution. Don't try to overhaul your entire diet overnight. Identify just one fish in your current diet that needs replacing. If you're eating tilapia twice a week, replace it with cod or trout. Make this one change and maintain it for a month until it becomes routine. This gradual approach respects human psychology and dramatically increases your chances of sustaining the change long term. Buy canned sardines and wild salmon. Fresh wild salmon is wonderful but expensive and requires careful storage and preparation. Canned versions provide essentially the same nutritional benefits at a fraction of the cost, with added advantages of long shelf life and zero preparation time. Keep multiple cans in your pantry. Add sardines to salads. Mash them with avocado on whole grain toast, or eat them straight from the can with fresh vegetables. Mix canned salmon into pasta. Make salmon cakes, or top baked potatoes with it. These simple preparations require minimal cooking skill, yet deliver maximum nutritional benefit. Prepare simple fish dishes that minimize nutrient damage. High-heat cooking can damage delicate omega-3 fatty acids. Instead, bake fish gently at moderate temperatures around 300 degrees. Poach it in broth, or steam it with herbs. These gentle methods preserve nutritional value while making fish tender and easier to digest. Finish with lemon juice, which adds flavor and provides vitamin C that helps your body absorb iron. Pair fish with vegetables and healthy fats to optimize nutrient absorption. A drizzle of extra virgin olive oil, some sliced avocado, or a handful of nuts alongside your fish ensures optimal nutrient uptake. Adding colorful vegetables provides fiber and antioxidants that work synergistically with fish nutrients. Set a realistic frequency goal and track it. Research suggests eating fatty fish at least twice weekly provides measurable health benefits. 3 times weekly is even better. Create a simple tracking system. Mark your calendar every time you eat beneficial fish, or use a note app on your phone. This accountability mechanism helps maintain consistency, and consistency is where the magic happens. One serving of sardines won't transform your health, but eating sardines every Tuesday and Friday for 6 months absolutely will. Don't let perfect become the enemy of good. Maybe you can't afford wild Alaskan salmon every week, then canned sardines provide similar benefits at 1/10 the cost. Maybe you really don't like sardines, focus on cod or trout instead. Maybe you travel frequently, then keep canned fish in your luggage. The point is to consistently get nutrient-dense, clean fish into your diet, not to achieve some impossible ideal you can't sustain. Monitor how you feel and track measurable changes. Within a few weeks of shifting from inflammatory, contaminated fish to healing, nutrient-dense species, many people notice changes. Joint pain may less. Energy might improve. Mental clarity could sharpen. Sleep often becomes more restful. If you're tracking health biomarkers through regular doctor visits, watch what happens to your cholesterol profile, inflammatory markers, blood pressure, and glucose control over several months. These objective measurements provide powerful motivation to maintain new habits. Remember that every meal represents a choice between accelerating decline or promoting vitality. At, at 60 plus, your body has lost some youthful resilience. Nutritional mistakes that might have caused minimal harm in your 30s can have serious consequences now. But the reverse is equally true. Nutritional excellence can be genuinely transformative now. Your older body, when given the right raw materials, still possesses remarkable capacity to heal, to reduce inflammation, to regenerate damaged tissues. But it needs those raw materials. The omega-3 seconds in clean fish, the selenium and B12, the high-quality protein, the vitamin D. These aren't luxuries. They're essential building blocks your body requires to function optimally. Think about what's actually at stake. This isn't just about living longer. It's about the quality of those years. It's about maintaining independence, the ability to drive yourself to appointments, handle your own shopping and cooking, travel and visit family, pursue hobbies and interests. It's about staying sharp enough to manage your finances, make your own decisions, and enjoy intellectual engagement. It's about preserving mobility so you can walk without pain, climb stairs without exhaustion, and recover quickly if you do fall. Every one of these capabilities depends fundamentally on nutrition, and fish consumption is one of the most powerful nutritional interventions available. You haven't missed your window. It's not too late. Whether you're 62 or 92, your body right now, today, will respond to better nutrition. The inflammation driving your joint pain can decrease within weeks. The brain fog can lift as you increase DHA intake. The energy you thought was gone forever can return when you provide your cells with nutrients they need. Your cardiovascular system can become measurably healthier as you reduce mercury load and increase beneficial omega-3 seconds. Your bones can stop losing density when you consistently consume vitamin D and bioavailable calcium from fish like sardines. Changes that took years to develop can improve faster than you imagine once you remove sources of harm and add sources of healing. The human body possesses extraordinary regenerative capacity even in older age. Cells continue to regenerate. New proteins continue to be synthesized. Damaged structures can be repaired. But this requires raw materials. And fish provides those materials in one of the most concentrated, bioavailable packages nature offers. Here's your call to action. First, clean out the danger fish. Check your pantry and freezer right now. If you find cans of albacore tuna, tilapia fillet, imported catfish, or any problematic fish, get rid of them. Don't tell yourself you'll finish them first. Throw them out or give them away and immediately replace them with better choices. Second, go shopping, specifically for good fish. Buy at least 2 cans of sardines, 2 cans of wild salmon, and either fresh or frozen cod, trout, or Pacific salmon. Put these in prominent places where you'll see them and remember to use them. Third, schedule your fish meals. Pull out your calendar right now and mark 2 days this week when you will definitely eat beneficial fish. Treat these like important appointments you cannot miss. Fourth, prepare one of those fish meals in the next 48 hours. Don't wait for perfect circumstances. Just do it. Open a can of sardines and eat them with crackers and vegetables. Bake a piece of cod with lemon. Make the first healthy fish meal happen, breaking the inertia that keeps people stuck. Fifth, share this information with someone you care about. Call your spouse, your children, your siblings, your friends who are also navigating aging challenges. Tell them what you've learned. Encourage them to make the same changes. Health improvements compound when we pursue them together. Sixth, Commit to tracking your progress for at least 3 months. Mark your calendar every time you eat beneficial fish. Note any changes you observe in how you feel. If you have routine medical appointments, pay attention to markers like cholesterol, triglycerides, and glucose control. Seventh, make this a permanent lifestyle change, not a temporary experiment. The difference between transient health improvements and lasting transformation lies in consistency maintained over time. Your body didn't become inflamed and depleted overnight, and it won't fully heal in weeks, but maintained over months and years. These dietary changes can genuinely alter your health trajectory, preventing decline, reducing disease risk, and preserving the quality of life that makes your golden years worth living. You now possess knowledge that most people don't fully appreciate. You understand which fish are slowly poisoning you and which fish can heal you. You recognize that farming practices matter enormously. That price doesn't always reflect value, and that some of the most nutritious foods on Earth cost mere dollars per serving. You know that mercury accumulation is preventable, that inflammation responds to dietary change, that cognitive function depends partly on DHA intake, and that simple choices at the grocery store can determine whether you maintain independence or lose it over the coming decade. This knowledge creates responsibility. You cannot unknow what you now know. From this moment forward, every fish choice is a conscious decision, either supporting your health or undermining it. The power is entirely in your hands. No doctor can make these choices for you. No medication can undo damage from consistent poor choices. But you, through nothing more complicated than consistently choosing better fish and eating it regularly, can influence your health trajectory more than almost any other single intervention available. Take that first step today, right now. This isn't about someday or soon. This is about today. This meal, this shopping trip, this moment when you decide that your health matters enough to take action. Your family needs you healthy and independent. Your community needs your continued contribution. You deserve to enjoy these years with energy, clarity, and vitality rather than surrendering to preventable decline. The path forward is clear. The choice is yours. Make it count.